Hello and welcome to Big Orbit Games unboxing of the new X-Wing huge ship, the Imperial Assault Carrier. My name is Simon. I'll be doing the unboxing today, so what I'm going to do is just open this up and show you what's inside. This isn't going to be an in-depth tactical review or anything. I'm mostly just going to voice some of my opinion and to show you what is in the box and what you get when you pick one up. So let's get the cellophane off. So this is the second huge ship for the Imperials and the fourth in the game overall, and it's got some interesting new rules as well, which I'm quite looking forward to going through. So the miniatures in there, the assault carrier and two TIE fighters, but we'll get to that in a minute. First of all, just going to get the cards and stuff out. Because in this one you get lots and lots of cards. So lots of tokens and bits and pieces. So, as always, you get a full components list in here, and also explanation for some of the new rules, because there is docking rules for this one, which is really cool, and then explanations on how the huge ships maneuver around, how the damage deck works, how the new upgrades work in there as well. And you've also got new missions for those of you who do the campaigns and the special missions, which are really good fun ways to play, good exciting scenarios. So you get that in there. You also get the sheet, which gives you a nice way to have a structured campaign involving the Gazanti class cruiser, or Imperial Assault Cruiser as the box calls them as well. So you can use these for your campaign play as well. So we'll take a look at the tokens very quickly, because it's not a fancy flight product without lots of tokens. Of course not. So you get your huge ship token in here, which covers the two bases. There's only one version of the ship, so it's only one-sided. You also get your double-sided ship tokens for the TIE fighters. You get your maneuver dials and all the tokens you need for those TIE fighters, and then your range rulers and your mission objective tokens and so forth, energy and shields. Everything you need to use this ship comes with it, which is always good. You also get your base in there with the stands, but also included in the stands are these little docking clamps, because you don't have to use it as a carrier. You can just equip it with some guns and fly it around and use it as a bit of a gunboat. However, that's kind of defeating the purpose of having a carrier with such a cool addition to it. So when I get to the miniature, I'll show you those bits. You can see here there's a huge wad of cards that you get with it. Now the majority of it is the damage deck, because you have a damage deck for the huge ship separate from your normal damage deck. One half affects the aft, one half affects the fore. So remember to use that when you're taking damage on it. And then we've got a wad of cards. So first of all, I'm going to show you the ship card. So we have the Gazanti class cruiser huge ship card. Unlike the Raider and the Tantive, you just get the one rather than the two halves, same as the Rebel Transport one. You can see all the different upgrades and actions it can take there, and also the ability, after you execute a maneuver, you may deploy up to 2 docked ships. So as you can see in the artwork there, it can dock TIE fighters, but it can also dock TIE Advanced, TIE Interceptors and TIE Bombers, which is so cool. You also get pilot cards for some new TIE fighters. So we get some new character ones. So we have, first of all, Scourge at 17 points. When attacking a defender that has one or more damage cards, roll 1 additional attack dice. Oof, brutal. Youngster. Friendly TIE fighters at range 1 to 3 may perform the action on your equipped elite upgrade card. And that's the only upgrade he's got access to. Just to remember, it says you can perform the action on it, which does limit the number of cards that this can be useful for, but I've seen some interesting combinations online already for TIE Swarms, so I'd expect youngsters to be used in future. We have Wampa. When attacking, you may cancel all dice results. If you cancel a crit result, you get to deal 1 face down damage card to the defender, so it's like an automatic hit bypassing their defense. This could be used to finish off a ship, or to get the first bit of damage in, say to remove a stealth device or something. The other character we also get is Chaser. When another friendly ship at range 1 spends a focus token, assign a focus token to your ship. So yeah, you can, yeah, fantastic already. You also get Black Squadron pilots, Obsidian Squadron pilots, and Academy pilots, 2 of each in there. Then we take a look at the upgrade cards. So this is a mixture of upgrade cards for the TIE fighters and for the cruiser itself. So Expert Handling, which is an old reprint, we get one of those. We also have Expose, again another reprint, one of those. Marksmanship, which has been in the game since the beginning, one of those. Ion Torpedoes, Cluster Missiles, Homing Missiles. Oh, now we're on to the first brand new one, Agent Callus. So he's Imperial only, at 2 points. He's a crew member. And at the start of the first round, choose one enemy small or large ship. When attacking or defending against that ship, you may change one of your focus results to a hit or evade. So you've got to mark your target, but this effectively counts as having a free focus, which could free you up for doing other actions. We have a construction droid, so this is for the huge ship now. It's limited as well. And when you perform a recover action, you can spend energy to discard a face-down damage card, so even more healing to keep the ship going. So you get 2 of those in there. We have Rear Admiral Cheronu. So we've seen this guy in Armada, but his ability here is quite different. He grants you the action, execute a white forward 1 maneuver. So he grants the cruiser a little bit more mobility. We get one of those. Then we get Ordnance Experts. Once per round, when a friendly ship at range 1 to 3 performs an attack with a missile or torpedo, a secondary weapon, it may change one of its blank results to a hit result. Just makes them a little bit more useful. 2 of those. We have a dual laser turret, so this is for the Gazanti only. 3 dice, 1 energy to pay, and range 1 to 3, and spend energy from this card to perform this attack against one ship, even if it's outside your firing arc. We have a broadcast array. Your action bar gains the, I forgot what that action icon means, but it is in the rulebook, so my apologies for that one. I've managed to somehow forget in the last 2 minutes. Cluster bombs as well, and we get 2 cluster bombs in there. Docking clamps, now this is the interesting one. So you can dock up to 4 TIE fighters, interceptors, bombers, or advanced to the ship, although all ships must have the same ship type, so you can't mix and match one of each. But you could put 4 TIE fighters, or 4 bombers, 4 advanced, or 4 interceptors on there. That's so cool, I can't wait to show you that. We have the automated protocols, 2 of those. We have 2 optimized generators as well. 2 ordnance tubes, this is one of my favourites. You may treat each of your hardpoint upgrade icons as a torpedo or missile upgrade icon. Also, when you're instructed to discard a torpedo or missile upgrade card, do not discard it. You get basically infinite uses of them. Can't complain there. And then we also have the titles for the Gazanti. So Requiem, when you deploy a ship, treat its pilot skill value as 8 until the end of the round. So this is useful for the turn that you've deployed them. Vector, after you execute a maneuver, you may deploy up to 4 docked ships instead of 2. So nice big swarm release there. And the Suppressor. Once per round, after you acquire a target lock on an enemy ship, you may remove 1 focus, evade, or blue target lock token from that ship. That's pretty mean. So that's all the cards we get in there. Now it's on to the really exciting bit, the miniature. So first of all, I'm going to show you the TIE fighters. Once I remove the packaging. So you get 2 TIE fighters in here, which is useful for the docking. So as far as I'm aware, there's not really much of a difference between these. In previous ones, when we've had the extra ship with them, they've been slightly different colours. However, I think these ones, they're more of like a Return of the Jedi blue, I think. But apart from that, there's no special markings or indicators on these TIEs. So they're just more TIE fighters, which you're probably going to need if you use the docking. And then we're on to the cruiser itself. Once I get it out the packaging. It's secured in fairly tightly, which is good for transport. So here we have it, the Gazanti class cruiser. So in the hand it feels a bit heftier than some of the previous models. Looking closely, the paint job on it looks good. Oh, the turret turns slightly. That's exciting. So just, oh, the radar dish actually comes off. Interesting. Suppose you could decide to take that off if you wanted to, if you don't have the boosted comms on there. Turret underneath as well. I mean, detailing wise, it looks pretty cool. There's lots of little bits of details here and there, and the panels and the lines, just little bridge windows there. Shame the engines aren't lit up. It's always a bit of a down point for me when they don't have at least like a blue glowing effect on them of some kind. Even just a bit would have been nice to see. So yeah, which is a shame. And then we've got the underneath, which is where the excitement happens. So this is where you can attach these docking clamps. So they've got these screw markers on there. As you can see, if I zoom it in, as you can see, they've got this T shape. So you slide in the key and very carefully twist them. So do be careful, because sometimes the plastic can be a bit stiff. So let's get those 4 on there. And now we have really useful landing gear. There we go, all done. No. So this is what's used for docking the ships in. As you can see, there's little pegs inside. So the way it works, get the TIE fighter, get the peg side of it, slot it in when it decides it wants to go. Obviously they are orientated, so don't force it too hard. And there we go. And again, I'll do the same for that one. And there we go. That was so easy. It's a snug fit. Actually, fits a tiny bit loose. I feel like it's strong enough that it's holding it. I don't think it's going to stand up to thousands and thousands of removals over and over and over again, but definitely more than enough for each time you're probably going to be playing with it in these epic games, which is absolutely fine. And again, you'll be able to fit TIE Bants, TIE Bombers and stuff on there. You might have a bit of a squeeze with the TIE Bombers because of the length of them, but you should be absolutely fine. Should be fine. So yeah, that is the Gazanti class cruiser. So to give you an idea of the size of it as well, let's do a little bit of a comparison. So we'll compare this to the Rebel transport. So I've got these lined up and side by side here. You can see it's roughly about the same size, same length. It's wider because of the shape of the sort of like the fins, the wings, if you will. And height-wise, definitely a lot thicker than the transport. But again, a lot of that bulk appears to be coming from the actual docking tubes, rather than really the ship itself. And then it'd be amiss of me not to compare it to the Raider. So here we have the Raider. Try and line these up. It's a bit awkward. The camera doesn't go that far out, so it's awkward to show you them truly. So that's them touching side by side. You can see the Raider's a lot longer and a lot bigger, but the cruiser doesn't look, it's not dwarfed by the Raider in any way. I mean, it still looks like an impressive ship, and seeing these flying together on the table would be a fantastic sight to see. Yeah, look at that. I was always, if you've seen my previous video of unboxing the Raider, I was always a bit disappointed with the paint job on it. It's a bit bland, it's a bit but the Gazanti's much nicer. I mean, it's hard to work with just greys, isn't it? But no, the Gazanti's much more detailed, much more refined. And again, just that big blank engine, it should be blue. So yeah, so there we go. So that is the Imperial Assault Cruiser. It's going to be really fun to see this being used in epic play, because it can play different roles. You don't have to use it as a docking craft. And to note, in brief, the way the docking works is after you've executed a manoeuvre, you can then set a dial for one of these and either put it in the front or the back peg guide pegs. Sorry, start again. Choose a manoeuvre. After this has done a manoeuvre, choose a manoeuvre for the ship, place the template down in either the front or the rear pegs, and then you manoeuvre the ship out. And that's it. nice and easy. If it would hit an obstacle, it follows obstacle rules, and if it's got nowhere to deploy, it gets blown up, but I doubt you'd deploy it in that case, so it's fine. So yeah, but you can use this as a transport ship, or with the upgrades available and some of the upgrades from the previous huge ships, you could sort of mostly turn this into a gunboat or a missile and torpedo boat, really. I think it's quite a versatile ship, unlike the transport for the Rebels, which is really just for objective playing. I think there's a lot you meant to do with this in epic play, so definitely a must-have for any Imperial player. I think this is a really, really cool looking ship with some really cool cards to go along with it. So there we go. That is everything you get in the Imperial Assault box set for X-Wing. So everything you've seen here today, all the individual components can be bought and sold on our website, bigorbitcards.co.uk. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll do more X-Wings unboxings, including the new T-70 X-Wing and the new Typho. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. That's bye from me, Simon. I'll see you next time. Bye.